Welcome everybody, myself versus Oliver King. You can see they're tied 2-all historically. Oliver with the slight edge, winning 5 games to 4. I'm playing my usual green-white value town, where I've kept a pretty shaky hand that is decent if he doesn't have an Inquisition or Thoughtseize turn 1, but he does, so I think he's going to take Birds of Paradise. You can see I was relying on that as my coloured mana source. There's a Bazooka Bog. Green, black, probably rock. So Bazooka Bog useless in this matchup. Down goes my bird. So Bazooka Bog's the sort of card that it's like this deck has that one slot where you can be a bit, you can play around a bit with the land, but down goes my knight, my best threat. Bazooka Bog has that one slot where you can play around a little bit with what land you want to play. The Sejiri Steppe is another one that I sometimes play in there, but it's Bazooka Bog for a number of graveyard decks these days. I need a white source off the top, brilliant, so I can just path that Dark Confidant. You can see Oliver's down to 3 cards, so don't want him getting carried away. I'm just going to chip in with the damage while he's tapped out. Scavenging Ooze up to a 4. Screws is actually really good in this matchup because it can keep his Tarmogoyfs in check, and that is the card I do not want to see. I cannot beat Kalidas. I play 4 Path to Exiles. So I'm going to see how you want to trade first. I'm happy to trade and keep my path because I'd imagine if I see 1 Kalidas, I'm probably going to see 2. Just pass the turn and wait and see what he wants to do. But yeah, he just swings the Kalidas. I take it down with the path. No point pathing on my own turn. And here's a second Kalidas. So again, I'm in this position. You want to trade. He does not. He goes to 6. So it's kind of desperate times. Voice of Resurgence is useless here because it exiles instead of goes to the grave. And so this is going to be brutal. Literally, collective brutality. I've used up 2 Path to Exiles already, and so at this stage I'm thinking about, you can see Kalidas has got lifelink. At this stage I'm thinking about sideboards, because I've actually got a really good matchup against these mid-range decks. I can beat them 9 times out of 10, but it's just that when they put Kalidas in, it kind of changes the matchup entirely. So he's going to take down my voice, he's going to get a blocker, but I'm also wary of that hissing Quagmire with Death Touch, but Liliana's going to take down my Scavenging Ooze. By this point I've pretty much seen enough, and just like that, Kalidas has taken over the board. Well, Shalai is not going to do much because I don't think Kalidas has Death Touch. It's a 3/4, but I can actually check one of the zombies, but Kalidas can sack a zombie to put counters on himself to grow bigger. So I'm just going to skip ahead here. He plays a Liliana, so he can minus the Liliana again. That's his second Liliana, and it's going to take down Shalai. And I think we're about ready to concede. Oh, but again, like last time, collected company. So my only hope here is to ambush Kalidas in combat. But if he's, I think he's pretty smart. He'll probably plus Liliana beforehand. But he misses that. So chance to ambush take down the hissing Quagmire. Chance to ambush Kalidas right here. I need to hit at least 2 2/2s. And I don't. Scoos can't grow, I don't think, because there's nothing in the graveyard, because Kalidas has been exiling everything. I just have a quick check. No, there's not. They'd be chump blockers. So that's 7 damage. So he's going to have lethal on board next turn. And Assassin's Trophy just to compound it. So even if he had a creature or hit 2 2/2s, it wouldn't have made a difference anyway. Knight of Autumn. I've seen enough. Let's go to game 2. Why am I not going to game 2? Well, I can block Cletus with that, and I can chump block another one, but again, Cletus is just going to put counters on. Liliana removes a blocker, and that's going to get the job done. On to game 2. I bring in, I think I got a 1-off settled wreckage in the sideboard. This one's not so easy. Scavenging Ooze or Noble Hierarch, this kind of tells me a lot about what he's got going on. If he's got removal, I think he's going to take the Scoos. If he doesn't have removal, he's going to take the Hierarch. The problem here for him is that the Scoos is going to start eating things. So if he's got a Tarmogoyf, I can keep the Tarmogoyf in check, but he plays a Dark Confidant instead. I decide to go for Collected Company instead here. Get aggressive, because there's a Tarmogoyf. Tarmogoyf you can see is a 3-4, but I don't really care because the Scoos is going to check that. I've got a second Scoos now. And Voice of Resurgence is actually going to be really good here. Assuming he doesn't come up with Cletus again. I go for the Knight because I'm going to try a little sneaky trick to try and ambush him in combat here. This gets a lot of people a lot of times, so I'll swing both of these. He straight away thinks, what's going on here? And I could not believe that this actually worked. I had nothing to lose actually doing it. But I was amazed that I could actually get away with it. Because you can see the Tarmogoyf can actually kill either of them. So he's like, which one do I want to kill? And because he's at 13 life, he's kind of under pressure a bit to actually do something. Because he can't keep taking the hits. So what I'm doing here, I'm using Scavenging Ooze to exile the card, which will shrink the Tarmogoyf. And he says in chat to me that, someone did this to me yesterday as well. So he's been caught out twice. There's some sort of saying there, shame on me, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. So that was kind of sneaky, and at this point Liliana ain't saving him, because if he minuses, the Voice will get a token. Now this is like the worst bluff I've ever seen. Swinging the Dark Confidant. I know that's coming up next, the Damnation. So I'm just going to use up my last of my mana just to get some life for the Scavenging Ooze, but also to get rid of Collected Company, because it'll shrink any future Tarmogoyfs. And now one of my favourite cards in this deck, the Tireless Tracker, which is an absolute house, is going to come in, and he's straight away could be a 5-4 next turn. So if I can go here to a 5-4. It would force the Tarmogoyf to chump block. I think I keep, off memory, I don't recall my sideboard, but I think I keep the Knight of Autumn just simply because there's no other decent sideboard options. Dark Confidant reveals an Assassin's Trophy, so that's a nice pickup for him off the top. He's going to go Liliana. This is kind of surprising here. Going to minus Liliana, so yeah, I couldn't sack that Voice token fast enough. And he taps out, so Scavenging Ooze is actually kind of problematic for me, because the Scoos can shrink a lot of my creatures, including that guy, the Knight. I'm going to get in here because... or I'm thinking about getting in here. I passed the turn. Not sure why I didn't attack then. Why didn't I? Yeah, that's utterly confusing. I don't know why I didn't attack. You can see he's at 1 life. Oh, I know why I didn't attack. I didn't attack here because I didn't want him to chump block with the Dark Confidant. I think when I'm at 16 and he's at 1, that Dark Confidant is going to eventually kill him. He can't keep topping lands every single turn. And I think I can chump block and stay alive long enough to be able to just wait for that to happen. If he does have a removal spell, he's going to be forced to use it on his own Dark Confidant. So we'll just skip ahead a little bit here. I think he's thinking. Yep, cracks the fetch. So he's going to Fatal Push. And here I was really surprised actually that he Fatal Pushed my Tireless Tracker. I think he had an Assassin's Trophy as well. I don't know why he didn't get his Dark Confidant. Path to Exile coming off the top. So I can go and get that, and I can actually force a chump block here from the Tireless Tracker. If I wanted to. But again, I'm going with that line of getting the Dark Confidant to kill him. So we'll see what we can pull this time. Again, a Field of Ruin. It's like every time I play against Dark Confidant, it only ever turns over lands, and this gets kind of super annoying. He still does need a blocker though here. He's got 3 cards in hand because I've got lethal on board. He's going to crack a Clue. No, he's going to Field of Ruin instead. Going to go after my card draw, my Horizon Canopy. And here comes the big boy, Kalidas. Too late to the party though. Except for if he can swing next turn and get lifelink. If he does swing next turn, I can kill him. So here comes Dark Confidant. No way I'm biting on that one. I'll take the 2. And I'm surprised he didn't swing in. I don't know why he didn't then. I play the fetch because I don't want a Noble Hierarch. I can shuffle that away with the Wooded Foothills. I've got a number of ways here to fill to the top of my draw. I can shuffle with the Wooded Foothills, or I can Ghost Quarter myself. So he's going to Assassin's Trophy end of turn. And I can Knight of the Reliquary as well. He's going after my Knight. So I'll sack a Forest in response, and I hit a land off the top, so I still don't want that. And a land off the top again. I still don't want that. So it's 3 tries. I've got 2 left, but yeah, he got the card and it killed him. So we're going to the decider now. Do you have a Fatal Push? No, he does not. Tarmogoyf for 0. So I go for a Sousa just to get the land ramp. You can see without... Here, I think he wants to take... There's a tough one because it's either Tireless Tracker or Corsair. He goes for the Tireless Tracker. Corsair with a Sousa can just turn beast mode super fast. So you can see there's another land. Another Corsair. So I'm going to get a couple of cracks at this because I can crack this fetch. Still don't hit it. So I hit back at him again. He hit me for 2. I hit him. So Corsair's actually gaining me life at the moment. You can see I've got 5 mana available. This is the big turns coming up. We're going to see Kalidas. I'm at the, and we see Kalidas, so I'm in big trouble. I'm starting to think now, where can I find the answer? Quick Smart. And so I have to get a bit aggressive here. I keep the white open, sack the Ghost Quarter so I can sack my own land because I'm looking for something else. So you can see here I can play additional lands. I don't want that Birds of Paradise. So I'm just going to draw it. And you can see there, Settle the Wreckage. So he can see that sitting on the top of my deck. But that Settle will actually check that Kalidas. So the only sort of piece of the puzzle that I'm missing now is a Rumming Up Excavator. If I can find a Rumming Up Excavator, it's lights out. He takes down my tracker, gets a zombie. The weakness at the moment you can see is that I don't have the second white source except for creatures, which is risky. I am at 12. I still got probably a few more turns before I need to hit the panic button. He does know about this settle the wreckage, so he's just going to swing the Tarmogoyf. Kalitas is the prize here. Dark Confidant. And there it is, Rumming Up Excavator. That's what I needed. He's only got one card in hand. Play out my Corsair, and there's my path. So I don't have any more clues to crack, so I'm kind of in a bind here. I can play 3 lands a turn from Azusa. Path is going to be excellent because it's going to slow down this attack that he's got going on. So Rumming Up's going to let me play my lands out of my grave now. You can see a second Settle the Wreckage coming. So I'm going to start getting aggressive because I don't know how many basics he has. I take down the treetop villages, and every time I do this as well, it's gaining me 2 life, which is handy. So I've done it twice now. That's Ghost Quartering him, so it's given me 4 life this turn. I can actually start getting it. He doesn't have flyers. I don't think green-black plays any flyers, so Birds of Paradise is going to start chipping in for 1. Once I get that second settle, I think I'm pretty settled, so to speak. And that's really poo-poos my party. 1 of them I could have dealt with, but 2, no way. The problem now is that I can't keep doing the Ghost Quarter thing of Rumming Up Excavator. He's killed that little fun time. So I'm actually going to get aggressive here and shuffle away my Settle the Wreckage because I'm looking for another path to exile. So I play the lands out of my grave because I have priority. Get 6 life. You can see he had me under pressure there for a while. I'm back up to 23 life now. I kind of want to draw that Noble Hierarch so that my bird can fly over as a 2 power instead of a 1 power. He finds Liliana. Now Liliana is going to be an awkward one because I can easily sack the voice. I'm surprised he minused there because he knows the 2 cards that I've got. He could have gotten rid of one of them. At this stage, I didn't need to fire anything off, but I don't want to sack the voice because I want to get rid of Kalitas. So I'm going to have to path Kalitas and then sack the voice to Liliana next time. The only issue here is that he's building a super wide board. I want to get value out of this set of the wreckage. But again, he doesn't swing. So I've got 2 chances here. I take the Hierarch. Tireless Track is going to be huge. It's going to enable me to swing. It's going to enable me to get the extra value out of the lands if I'm playing 3 a turn. The only thing is, because of those scavenging oozes, I'm not going to get the value out of the fetches out the grave anymore. He's got 1 card left in hand. You can see I've got 1 bird. And he does have that Dark Confidant, but I'm gaining life faster than the Confidant can damage me, so he's kind of getting to the point where he needs to do something pretty soon. I'm just going to skip ahead here. I think he's thinking long and hard. So Noble Hierarch comes down. I am going to be forced to lose one of these things if he gets another Liliana. So if he's got a removal, he has to do it now. He does not. So that's a big play for me because I need both these removal spells. And Liliana plussing would have killed my plan, which I think he should have done on the last turn. Of course, Dark Confidant only finds lands. But a second Liliana here is huge. This time he pluses. So I get rid of the Settle the Wreckage. So my thinking here is that I can cover a swing for a turn or two because I got 23 life. What I'm really in the market for is a Knight of the Reliquary. I dropped to 15. Here's I could not believe he played out that Dark Confidant. So this time I go for Cletus. Cletus is down. We've had enough of that guy. And now we're going to get some work done because Tireless Tracker, I'm going to crack the clue so that I can draw that Collected Company because I want to keep playing lands. There's another land. So you can see he swung the 2 Tarmogoyfs, knocked me to 15, and just like that I'm back up to 19. I'm going to Ghost Quarter his Field of Ruin. And sadly he cuts off my supply. I've got my own Scavenging Ooze coming, so you can see a Nissa Vital Force just hammered him for 5. So again, with 2 Dark Confidants, I'm on the same plan. I'm just going to wait and let the Confidants kill him. But Scavenging Ooze coming is going to shrink those Tarmogoyfs as well. In response, I collected company. I decided to go for 2 knights anyway because I can go for the jugular here. You can see he's at 3. So what my plan here is, I can actually sack my knight, get a Gavany Township, and put a +1 counter on my bird. So he's got to remove the bird or a hierarch. If he doesn't, then I'll have lethal in the air. So again, he's please kill my Dark Confidant. He swings both Confidants. So I do have a number of creatures here that I don't need anymore, including the Voice of Resurgence would have been an awesome blocker there, but he backs out of the block. I'm just explaining to him now he's got no cards in hand, so I'm going to kill him next turn, because I can actually in my upkeep tap Knight, sack a land, Gavany Township, put the +1 counters on, and that would be lethal. So once that's explained, that's his suicide swing. I'm just calculating enough to stay alive here with the guys that did their work and they didn't not required anymore. Azusa and Ramanup. Azusa amazingly survived right from the beginning of the match to the end and did some serious work with the 2 courses. And so I take down Modern 2 games to 1. Value Town fights back for the win.